And we are live. Hey everybody, this is Will Middleton from LIfterLMS representing today. I am here to answer your questions about pre-sales and general LIfterLMS questions you have for the next hour. We can also talk about any questions that you have if you've made the time to join live today. If we don't have a lot of questions in the chat, we'll turn over to YouTube, we'll turn over to Facebook, and we'll see what kind of questions people have been asking in the last week. And with that, Kurt's hopping on now. Hey Kurt, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I was just on a different podcast and I'm like, I gotta go.
Awesome. Well, I did our little intro and we have Karen already in the chat hitting us with some good questions. So I say we just dive right in.
She's got the Infinity bundle. She has to come to the next call.
The next call is a live Zoom call. So Karen, if you do have the Infinity bundle or Universe bundle, anyone listening, there was a Zoom call actually 2 hours from now. It will start. You should have an email in your inbox with a Zoom link. If you don't, email help@LIfterLMS and ask for that Zoom link. But that's where we can share screens and do a little more in-depth stuff. But we're happy to bring up your questions here and see if we can help you out in this way. So let's see. Hello. Thanks for the opportunity to ask questions. I have the Infinity bundle. Okay, cool. It is possible to set up. Is it possible to set up forums on a website using LIfterLMS? Absolutely. So maybe we could take a high-level tour of a few different ways to do that. And so really creating a social experience, I think creating forums, my default go-to is BB Press, which has an integration with LIfterLMS that you do have access to as a part of your bundle. So let me pull up my demo site, Feature Friday, February, and I'm going to share my window. My window is this. I have to look around my camera a little bit. Here we go. So I'm in the back end of my Lifter site, and on these demo sites, anyone listening can get a demo site for $1 on our LIfterLMS.com/try page, and we have all of the Lifter stuff installed so you could get a tour of it. And so we have a forums option on here, and what has been set up here is apparently nothing.
It's apparently nothing.
Apparently nothing. Apparently that page is broken. But what should be there is like a BB Press thing, right? So if is the forums even a page on here? Oh, maybe I deactivated. No, BB Press is right here. So the BB Press plugin, this one here, is a free plugin, and let me explore the settings and see why this is not showing up for me. Because I want that to show up on that forums page. Theme package forum root is forums, which is /forums. I don't need to do anything like this, do I? Let's see.
I was looking at mine in the background. I was lost. But now I'm found.
Awesome. That did not fix that. Forum root, just change effects forums. Prefix all forum content with the forum slug forum index. Weird. Do I need to create a page called forums? I thought the demo site would have this on there, but because I feel like if I do this, create a forums page, and then it should have URL forums. Doesn't actually do anything. I hadn't said BB Press in a long time, but this creates these. Maybe the privacy network privacy is set to closed or something. Because I should be able to view these forums, right? If I go to any of my forums created on the back end, it looks just like this, but I can't list out all the forums in my page. Probably the network privacy issue. I'm installed, activated. There's no weird. I don't know why that main forum page is not working, but on the back end of WordPress, we can create forums. So this is the Academy membership private forum. And so how this works is a lot like Reddit, where people on the website who do have access to the forum can visit the page and they can click into different topics, or they could create a new topic. And then within topics, there's all these threads, and there's all kinds of options to reply to other people. You can mark different threads as trash, approve, reply to different people. And so it creates that sort of a Reddit style experience. And with LIfterLMS specifically, you have some options to restrict forums to only be viewable if you are a part of a course or should be membership, right? So when I'm
Yeah.
when I'm editing my forum here, you restrict forum to memberships. You have to be an Academy membership in order to access this forum. But then you could also do it by course, and how you would do it by course is if you go into courses. If I want to have a forum be a part of the Quick Start course, I would edit it, and then BB Press somewhere here in the middle, and then we can select forums that are only for this course. So you can really slice and dice it a lot of ways. What do you think about forums and social experiences, Kurt?
Well, it's interesting the way that we kind of opened up directly into BB Press, because both of us were like, I would go with BB Press. And I think it's because recognizing that we're on the pre-sales call and we're giving people like the most direct, cost-effective, kind of easy way to add that. So I agree with everything that we've said there, but I will go a step further and say that as I've developed more in my, LMS and membership pathway, I have begun to rely a lot more on Buddy Boss. And Buddy Boss has forums as part of that package, and we integrate with Buddy Boss really well. So that's another option that gives you a different user interface.
100%. I'm trying to figure out why my camera looks a little bit grainy.
I think you look like $1 million, son.
Thank you.
I'm shady today. I'm like, it's kind of cloudy outside, and I turned my ring light on, and I think it just muddled the cloudiness. I can't figure out why I look like I'm dark. You're in a bright room, and I'm the old man in the dark closet.
There's a closet right there. I'm gonna open it, and Kurt's like actually streaming from in there.
Yeah, I should scream from inside that closet. Watch.
Hello.
I like to have your purple lights on behind you, but now it's probably too bright to see your purple lights.
Not really. You can see them a little bit.
You can kind of see them.
Especially if I turn off portrait mode. Not really. Put it back on.
Boom.
Sweet. Well, Karen, let us know if that answers your question there in the chat. If it's a good answer, if you want to talk more about BB Press, Buddy Boss, or other social options with Lifter, we could dive into those as well. But I think for forum setups, the go-to is BB Press.
Yeah, and I think if we're just honest with each other, and we think about like what's direct, what's easy, what works well, and think about the theme that you're using. Like you just showed the demo. You're in SkyPilot, right? Because it looked like SkyPilot.
Yeah, I can reshare.
That's a really, I think, bold and modern looking theme. And even a tool that's as established as Buddy Press is looks new and fresh in the SkyPilot theme. So like when people talk about, well, what's it going to look like, or how does it work, or what's the user interface going to be, it's like, this is SkyPilot. It's new, it's modern, it's awesome. Just plug in the tools and play with it. Yeah,
let me see. So I mean, there's clearly something going on. I wonder if I could figure out what's going on here. Probably not a theme issue. It might be a plugin conflict. If I flip over to, looks like there is actually a conflict with SkyPilot and BB Press, because if I reload this page, I see this. But then if I switch to SkyPilot, I don't know. But you probably don't need this forum page to be public. If you're creating forums for courses and memberships, you don't usually have this page be a thing. You usually just link to your forum directly from your course, like the members only forum. But if I don't know, let's test that theory. If I deactivate all my plugins, someone's car alarm's going off in the background.
Can't even hear it, man. Can't even hear it. Your sound filtering is working like $1 million.
That's awesome. I hope it's not my car.
I hope it's not my car.
Let me listen to that close. That's further away. Let's deactivate these. Thumbnail regeneration is running in the background. That's fancy. I don't know what that's about. I remember that used to be very important for LIfterLMS certificate stuff, thumbnail regeneration, but we can dive into some other questions here in the chat while I am messing around here. Appearance themes. Karen says, thanks. I think that answers it for now. I may come back at the 3 p.m. meeting. Awesome. And it would be a
That's
membership.
not going to work, Karen. We need more content for the call. Come up with another question.
It would be a membership website, but not one that requires them to take courses. Oh, okay. So yeah, you could just have like a membership only forum. Boom, forums. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's some kind of Skype pilot thing going on there. But yeah, let me dive into YouTube.
I had one that was in the Facebook that I wanted to kind of talk about for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And that was somebody in the Facebook put up a comment that was they were concerned because the student didn't get the option to set their password when they were signing up, enrolling. And then I found out that they were in WooCommerce, right? So the standard WooCommerce process is you enroll, so you sign up, you enroll, you buy the product, and then poof, right? Then you get an email that says, you've been enrolled, and then you set your password from there. Is that correct?
With WooCommerce?
Yeah, WooCommerce is like the cash register that activates the access plan, and then you get a notification from the website that says you've got access, and it gives you your user account and gives you that link, right? And then that link is where you go and you set your password.
Usually with WooCommerce, you can set your password on the checkout page when you're using the Lifter WooCommerce integration. Like if I go to, I gotta reactivate my plugins because I was troubleshooting some things. I just clicked bulk actions. So I think WooCommerce is on this demo, so I could show that. Yeah, it is. There it goes. WooCommerce. I would be like WooCommerce really loud, but I don't want to blow out people's eardrum.
WooCommerce.
And they actually changed their name, I guess, to Woo, WOO. So it's not WooCommerce anymore, which is weird to me. So it's just the Lifter Woo integration, which is like a WooCommerce. At least the word commerce kind of explains what that does, but Woo doesn't really. There's a confetti plugin for WordPress too, and that seems like Woo.
They're so big. They're so big. They don't have to have what they do in their name anymore.
Right. Then that's the same thing with like names like X for Twitter. It's like you don't X people, you tweet at people. You post tweets. It's like birds kind of chirping at each other. It's like it kind of makes sense, but X just doesn't explain what you're doing. But I guess they're so ubiquitous that I don't know. But so if I go to my crypto course, let's make sure that my crypto course is linked up, and I could show this example. So I'm gonna purchase the crypto one. There's like 1,000 courses on this website. There it is. Crypto apps. And if I scroll down, a la carte course, it looks like I do not have the WooCommerce Lifter integration set up. So let me integrate that. If I go to LIfterLMS settings integrations, WooCommerce, or now Woo, save. I hope they change their name back to WooCommerce. If we go to processing, so order enrollment status, I'm going to set this to be processing. And I like to usually set order enrollment status to processing because this creates a lot of confusion when people create a product in WooCommerce. If I edit this, and this is a little bit more advanced for people who are tuning in. If you're integrating Lifter and WooCommerce, you're creating a little bit more of an advanced website. Lifter has a direct Stripe and PayPal integration that makes it a bit easier to accept payments. But if you do want to go to the next level and have like shopping carts, you are probably going to want to use a WooCommerce style setup. So there's this checkbox for virtual, which is usually what we're going to do because there's no shipping here. And it doesn't really matter if the only products on our website are courses, but if we're doing some shippable products, some virtual products, we want to check this box. But this box downloadable. So it's what it says as a description is a little bit confusing because if you check the downloadable box, what happens is when an order is sent or done by an end user and the only products in that order are downloadable, it just marks the order as completed. So it goes order status just as immediately completed. But a lot of LIfterLMS users read this little pop-up and they don't check the box. And so what happens is when an order is placed, the order status is set to processing. And Lifter, how the integration works is it looks at the status of the order and then it enrolls people when it hits a certain order status. So if you have the order status set to enroll people when the order is completed, but all your orders go to processing because you didn't check this box, then you have a bunch of orders that have been paid for, but then nobody's getting enrolled in their courses. So you want to make sure that if your setup looks like this for your product, that you're set to processing, or you could do completed if your setup is checked. But I usually leave it like this. I do virtual, not downloadable, and then I set order enrollment status to processing, because that means the payment's been captured. That's a little tangent, but it will be important for what we do here. So I have my crypto apps course, my crypto course. It doesn't have a price, $10 update. And so now that I have my product created, I have my LIfterLMS integration with WooCommerce enabled. If I reload my crypto apps course page, we can see a la carte course actually asks me to select a WooCommerce product 4401. It's automatically selected 4401. So when somebody purchases this product and the order status is processing, they'll be enrolled in the course. So then now we can go to the front end of the website. We can go to the shop page. And we can find our crypto apps course.
There is a lot of courses.
Yeah, they got the hat course. I guess these are just stock products. I don't shirt. You can buy a shirt and a crypto course in the same. That would make sense if you have a crypto course. We do have a lot of crypto creators with Lifter, so you could sell merch that goes along with your course in the same order. That's pretty slick. Crypto course, add to cart.
Add to the cart. Go to the cart.
View the cart. What? You're already enrolled. You can't buy this. Okay, whatever. Let me see. That's a feature of Lifter to prevent people from buying the same thing twice. I wonder what I want to show how I can create a password though. Let me go to
incognito.
Yeah, I'm thinking incognito because it asks me for my email, but it should also ask me for my. Let's just go to incognito and reshare my screen because I'm logged in as an admin, so that's why this is a problem. Let's stop screen, go to incognito, go to the shop, and then share my screen again. Boom. Share, window, incognito, boom. So we're back here. We're not logged in as an admin. We're going to go to the shop page. We're going to add to cart. Did I do it? View cart. And then I have two of them in my cart. I don't want that. Proceed. It still has two in my cart. We should have an option for password. It looks like on the demo site, things might be misconfigured. So let me jump back to the WordPress admin and show you how to configure this shop checkout back here. So back on the demo site with LIfterLMS and WooCommerce, there's an important feature inside of WooCommerce settings we need to turn on. And that feature is under WooCommerce settings, accounts, and privacy. And this allow customers to place an order without an account. We don't want that because if someone's creating a Lifter purchase in WooCommerce, we need them to create an account so we can track their progress. So make sure that box is unchecked. We can allow customers to log into an existing account during checkout, and we want to allow customers to create an account during checkout. We don't need to create an account on the My Account page. So we have this option to automatically generate a username. And then there's this checkbox. When creating an account, send the user a link to set their password. That's what Kurt was talking about, where like you get an email to set your password. If you leave that box checked, that's how that'll work. They purchase, they'll get an email to reset their password. But if we uncheck that box, the cool thing is that if we go back to my incognito window and reload my checkout page, we should actually have an option right here to set my password somewhere. Why is this not here? Allow customers to create an account. Let me check my options. Allow customers to create an account during checkout. Allow customers to create an account on My Account page. They can log into an existing account, generate a username, send the user a link to set their password. Because we should have password as an option right there. Place an order with an account.
See, I thought they had to have that third-party product by there's a third-party product that allows you to add fields in WooCommerce. And I thought they had to have that in order to put that's the WooCommerce custom checkout fields. But that's $50 a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have customers who use WooCommerce and they do it just like this. I'm gonna switch themes. Hold on.
I'm gonna switch themes.
Switch themes. Is this
I'm out of here.
Like, I swear, the client that I use, or that I have, uses Astra for their site. Like, if I copy her setup exactly, email, this doesn't give me a password option, because there should be a password that's just right here. I'm going back and forth, so it's not a theme problem. If we go to WooCommerce settings again, I want to mull around in the accounts and privacy settings, because I don't want to pull up her site on the call, because she might not want us taking a look at it. But personal data, remove access to downloads, remove access to creating an account, send the user a link to set their password. Log into existing gathering, check out. Like, that is strange, because I'm gonna go to her website here in the background now. But yeah, we could probably move on to another question just to keep things flowing, and then I'll work on this in the background, and I should have a solution here in a few minutes. I just don't know if people want to watch.
That's cool. With me, I thought WooCommerce, you had to do the link in the email thing, and I thought the password didn't come up in the form. But if you know a way to make it come up in the form, that's even better. I mean, that's even, it's 1,000% better. But in any case, that's where we're at. When we think about other questions, does anyone have any questions or anything they'd like to put in comments? Because if not, I'm probably going to take a look at LIfterLMS again this week.
Nice. Love LIfterLMS.
Well, it just keeps coming up, Will. It just keeps coming up. I wish I could tell you something different, but it keeps coming up. Everyone's like, you know what? This is really cool, but I need to re-engineer the wheel. So yeah. I have a demo page we'll go into, and we'll take a quick look at it. I'll do present, share screen, window. Oh, look at me. I'm all over the place just like you. And I think this is the window I'm in. So we'll share, and tell me if you're seeing the back of my demo screen.
Let me hop over to StreamYard. I got a billion windows open. I'm seeing it.
Okay, cool. So this is a demo page that I have that I use. I do not have LIfterLMS installed in this one, because I wanted people to see exactly what we do to install LIfterLMS. And as we install it, we'll take a look at what LIfterLMS does. So I'm going to go down to plugins. I'm going to say add a new plugin, and we're going to run over and search and install LIfterLMS. So I think it's actually LIfterLMS Labs. Make sure I don't screw that up. So here we go, LIfterLMS Labs. It says a collection of experimental, conceptual, and possibly silly features which improve and enhance the functionality of LIfterLMS Core. I'm going to go ahead and install that, and then I will activate it. Now, the reason that I'm showing folks this on the live today is because I've had multiple support requests come in for people that want to change certain things. And so what we'll do now is run over to the LIfterLMS menu inside our website. And now you'll see we have an additional menu called Labs. Labs does a couple of cool things. And notice it was free. You didn't have to pay for an add-on or anything like that. You just went to the WordPress repository and you put it in. So one of the things I want to give you a tour on in LIfterLMS Labs is Divi theme compatibility. Folks that use Divi, you can enable the Divi theme compatibility. We call it Lifty Labs, and that will help you get more out of your LIfterLMS and Divi theme working together, right? Because Divi is not just a theme, it's also a page builder. And so you'll be able to use that more seamlessly. We do the same thing with Beaver Builder, but then the next thing I want to talk about is Action Manager. If I enable the Action Manager, it's going to open up another screen for me here, and that screen is going to give me options inside LIfterLMS dynamically that I can turn off. So as you know, when you work with LIfterLMS, or maybe you don't know, LIfterLMS uses custom post types and uses short codes and content that populate your pages. And sometimes there's things that you don't want. And this Action Manager enables you to turn some of those things off. So for instance, we could turn off reviews. We could make sure that the syllabus is not seen. Some people don't want that to come up where they want it. The progress bar and the continue button, you can turn that off if you want to. Things that normally get turned off that I see a lot of people take off is the author bar and possibly the difficulty and the length. A lot of people just say, I don't want that anywhere on my page. So if you check those and you save that, that should pull that out of your courses and lessons. And so that might clean up your design for you a little bit. Now, if you're working in blocks, you can just delete those blocks in the lessons. It's not a problem. But if you turn it off in Lifter Labs, you don't have to do it each and every time. It's something that you have more options to. If I go back to Labs again, to the main menu of Labs, you'll see I still have the Action Manager enabled. And right now it says configure or disable. But there's also simple branding and super sidebars. Simple branding, if I enable that, that's going to show us a list of colors that we use in a lot of the LMS branding. So people will say, why is there this bright blue on the buttons? Why is there this bright blue on some of the assets? Well, you can go and you can customize that blue color to a different color. So for example, if I just wanted to change all of it to purple, I could change it to purple. If orange was my go-to color for my website, whoops, that certainly is not orange. If I could slide that up to orange and then pick a better representation of that color orange, I could pick that. There's my hex code for it right there if I need to copy that for other uses in the site. But now I've changed that primary color from that weird blue color to a weird orange color. And you have the ability to do that elsewhere in the site. And of course, you save your changes, and then that change takes place throughout your whole site as far as simple branding goes in the LIfterLMS elements. The last thing I want to show you is super sidebars. Sometimes you have a theme where it has sidebars, but the sidebars aren't coming up correctly within your theme. So you can enable this tool, super sidebars, and then you can configure where you want your sidebar to show up at. And you can save that, and it helps your theme use those sidebars. And with that, I'm going to bounce back over to remove my screen share and see Will's big, beautiful, full-size face. So this has been coming up a lot lately. In the last week or two, I've had a lot of people asking, how do I change this button? How do I change the color of this? How do I change? And by installing that Lifter Labs, you get a little bit more design freedom with what you're working with without having to dive into specific CSS or reclass things and stuff like that I'm not the best at, but Will is. So between the two of us, we can point you in the right direction. Are you still looking at WooCommerce?
I'm still looking at WooCommerce, trying to figure out why, like, if that's a new thing or like why there's not that option, because I'm watching like YouTube videos now.
Well, that's all right, brother. Just to give you an idea of where I was at, and I'm going to fix this link sync so it doesn't come up in 27 places. I'll put it under my initials. This was the resource for Woo checkout fields. Boom. Oh, that's way too long. That's a huge link. I don't want to put that link in there. Let me try and get a cleaner link. They've got to have a better link than that. That's ridiculous. I can't even put that link into Checkout Fields Manager. Let's just see if this works by itself. You know when you go to share a link and it's got all that referral crap on the back of it?
Yeah.
I think this will work. Copy. There we go. That should work. And we'll put that up on the screen so people see it. But they have that thing called Checkout Fields Manager, one of their product extensions. And that gives you like 19 fields that you can add to checkout. But, and password's one of them.
That might be the way you have to do that. Like on all the WooCommerce sites, I feel like there was a way that it used to be different. I'm installing gateways and just trying to figure out exactly.
Yeah, no, I
why it's
totally
not
get
working.
it, man. I totally
It's
get it.
weird.
This was the source that I'd looked at for a client. But like I said, it bills annually at $49 a year. And that's my only real complaint. And I'm sorry, but I got to get a drink of water. I am horribly dry here. My only real complaint with WooCommerce, other than the fact that it took me forever to feel comfortable with it originally, but my other complaint is everything you go to do with it is an extra thing, anywhere from, $49 a year to $249 a year. If you want to take subscriptions, there's a subscription add-on. If you want the Fields Manager, there's $50 there. There's just everything with WooCommerce seems to have an extra thing that you want to do. If you want to sell gift cards, I think the gift cards was an extra $99 a year for one of my clients. And all of the licenses were like 1 year of updates, 1 year of support, but only for one site. It wasn't like they didn't have agency licenses where I could do unlimited sites for, the year, or God forbid, imagine unlimited sites for lifetime. That would be a phenomenal thing, right? And so, but check out Fields Manager. Had these items here, right? So features of WooCommerce checkout fields, 15 predefined positions are available to add fields almost anywhere on the checkout pages. And when I looked at the field types, it was text area, but password came up here, password, secret input field. Color pickers, date pickers, time pickers, recaptchas was included with it, add a message, or the VAT with validation. And, how many times do we get questions about VAT and using VAT in a checkout? So that was one of the things that popped up there. And I can see why people might want this tool. But Shazam, take that off the screen and we'll put that away. Now, here's where I'm kind of sad. I thought by now I would have had Adam Silver on this call.
Awesome. I actually, yeah, that's weird. I swear that was an out of the box feature, but I guess it's not. But I did find like a solution that's
it's not $50 a year.
It's not $50 a year. Can I? There it goes. So I installed a plugin called Checkout Field Editor for WooCommerce. This is the one that my client actually had on their website, and so this is our checkout fields, and so we can add field, add password, name, and then we would need to give it the name of the WordPress user's password, which we could find under my profile. And I guess I'm not sharing my window. Hold on, let me remove my StreamYard and share the whole window so you can see the tab I opened. There was this WordPress error I got when I activated something. Let's delete that. So if we look for the password, say user password, inspect, figure out what's going on here. So this is ID pass1. We'd have to confirm in the database that this is it, or even just give it a test, but I'm going to use pass1 as the option. Add field, add password, pass1, required, enabled, save and close. So we should have a password down at the bottom. Then if I save changes, then I'm on a local site. So I've got everything set up, and so I should be able to log out, go to the shop, pick up a course, add to cart, view cart.
Dang, what kind of course are you selling for $10, bro?
That's the LIfterLMS Quick Start course. You can get that for free on the Academy website. Upcharging from free. There's no payments. Where did my password field go?
I
don't know. We can keep diving into that, but that was probably the best option there for free free password on WooCommerce, because that client's not paying anything for that. So somehow she has that configured to do that. But awesome.
Maybe it'll go away with the next WordPress update. Poof, it's gone. Poofka, just like that. It's out of there.
It might. Billing first name, billing last name. Shipping fields. But advanced settings, premium other. Keep hacking away at that.
It's all right.
Like,
I feel like I've done something to you, Will. I feel like I've crossed a wire in your brain.
Right. It's like I'm the one who set this up, so I'm like, I should know how this worked. But man, I do that all the time with Lifter, WooCommerce, all these kind of websites. It's like I build crazy stuff and then I forget how it works, and I have clients email me and ask how it works, and I'm like, I don't know. Give me logins and I'll try to figure it out. But have you had any interesting LMS conversations come up this week?
The most interesting LMS conversations I've had come up have been centered on some different things. So, for instance, I recently interacted with someone who's a LIfterLMS user that seemed frustrated that we didn't have a way to not tell the student, that they got the question wrong and what the correct answer was. And this is just one of those things, Will, where it's like, I think it's just a condition. It's a condition of just people in general, right? It's like they'll come up with a complaint before they understand before they know what the product does. And this happens a lot. Doesn't matter if it's Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, an iPhone, an Android. It doesn't matter. People say, well, the thing I don't like about my phone is it doesn't whatever. And then all it takes is an expert to walk over. And it seems like the simplest of things, but they go, oh no, just swipe to the left. And then there it is, right? This is the kind of thing that we run into a lot with our support questions. And not bashing people, it's a human condition. So in this instance, for example, if I were to go back in and take a look at courses, and we'll find a course here that course tracks, quizzes. I think there's one that's a starter quiz in here. I think I have that has a course template. I think the course template has a quiz. If not, we can build a quiz. Who cares? Introduction, course content, lesson with quiz. Here we go. So over here is where we typically see settings and things come out. So settings is this button. Quizzes is the question mark. If I click on the quiz, you're going to see that open up over here. So lesson, assignment, quiz. So we have assignments and quizzes activated in this demo site. And when I go down here, see where it says show correct answers and that toggle switch is toggled on. If I toggle that off, it just lets the student go through the quizzes, and at the end they see whether they passed or not. And in this instance, they just need to get half the questions right. And you can change this to 80%. You can change this to whatever you want. So passing percentage is 80, passing percentage is 50. You have the freedom to make that what you want. You can also limit the number of attempts that somebody makes. 5 is pretty standard, but a lot of people will change that to 3. And you can even have a time limit. So if you wanted to say, hey, you got 30 minutes to get this right. If you can't get this right in 30 minutes, you're a dunce, right? So you could put that on, or you could freeform it and let people just take it, at their will. You can randomize the question order, or you can have the questions come up in the order that you've set. And again, you could have the correct answers. The other thing is, and this is new for us, this is a new feature. So some people might see this and might have been with us for a while, and you're going, well, what's that question bank thing? If you activate the question bank, you can say, well, how many questions are going to be in the quiz variations or the question banks? And then what kind of question type do we want to have? So let's say I have 100 questions in my question bank, but I really only want to have 5 questions and have them, like, one of them be true or false, One of them be multiple choice, and 2 be fill in the blank, and 1 to reorder pictures. We could set our question bank up that way so it strips questions of that question type to present to the learner. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with the quizzes. But that was one of the things that came up this week, was a discussion where somebody had said, hey, I wish that the quizzes wouldn't just automatically do this. And it's like, but you can turn that off. So it's one of the options.
Nice. Yeah, the quizzes have a lot of options in there. And one of the ones I see people miss out the most is the option to publish the quiz. And then they don't see why it's not live on the front end. But there's a little toggle in the upper right-hand corner that's like, oh, just tick it on and it will be published.
I'm still in that screen. I'll turn it back on. Right there. Published. So if I turn that off, now it'll just say mark complete at the bottom of your lesson instead of take quiz.
Yeah.
Man, where are the people at today?
I don't know for WooCommerce. I'm still figuring out the WooCommerce thing. Like, I feel like it's because I didn't have an SSL on that website, so I can't check certain data. But let me jump back into YouTube. I feel like I had that open in one of my tabs with the YouTube comments from the last week.
I know the email went out because Karen joined us.
Absolutely. I did have a question come in about I can't get my Vimeo videos to embed. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to take the embed code in Vimeo, that HTML, and they're trying to put that in the featured video field. But when we're using the featured video field, we need to use the actual link to the video itself. So the shareable link is the link that we would put in the video field because it's like an O embed or something going on. It's not going to be an HTML style embed.
Yeah, that's actually come up a couple of times just this week with some users. They're asking, hey, if I don't want to use Vimeo, what else can I use? And then the confusion comes in with, are you trying to use it as a featured video or are you trying to do an HTML embed? And so people get confused on what's what.
Yeah, because when you're doing video embeds, you have a couple of options. HTML can be embedded in the actual lesson content area above that Mark Complete button. We can embed anything in HTML, but then it's not tracked by anything like LIfterLMS Advanced Videos. And users who are working with LIfterLMS Advanced Videos, which is an add-on included in the Infinity Bundle or could be purchased individually, allows you to have a Netflix-style experience where videos kind of auto-complete and go to the next lesson. It also allows you to require students complete videos in order to move on to the next lesson. And so there are some features there that you need to use a Vimeo, a Wistia, or a YouTube video in order to be able to leverage those features. But the common question is, I've put my Vimeo video in the content area and it's not being picked up by Advanced Videos, but you do need to put it in that LIfterLMS featured video area in order for that one to work.
Right on.
Right on.
I was trying to think of some other things that might have come up in the last week or so, but honestly, dude, it's been a pretty straightforward kind of week. We had the thing about videos, we had the thing about getting the lessons to work right. The other thing was the WooCommerce with the password field, but I mean, short of paying WooCommerce the $50, I wasn't sure what that answer was. Trying to think of other things. We had somebody say something about adding a PayPal button to their website for e-commerce. And I think that was just them trying to get around using the native payment gateway that Lifter offers as an add-on. But that's the freedom of WordPress, right? If you can build yourself a workaround or build something to get around, paying for a plugin, you can do that. Absolutely.
Yeah. The I know some people are using SureCart. That one's picking up adoption. So instead of WooCommerce actually processing their payments through SureCart, and then there's an option with SureCart to enroll in Lifter courses and memberships. So there's a lot of different ways you could slice and dice your e-commerce. I usually stick with just the LIfterLMS gateways out of the box, or for more advanced sites, we will use a WooCommerce style setup. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things that must have eluded me for years. I thought the password was a feature of WooCommerce, but I'm seeing threads from 7 years ago that are talking about how to add it. So I have no clue what I've done on my client websites that have passwords on them. So I've built a bunch of sites, and so it must have been something. Like, I guess they've been using cart flows. They've been using some kind of a password thing on checkout.
That's just it. There's always some intertwined addition that might have that added feature you weren't even aware was part of that. Like, so many times I'll just automatically start using advanced quiz features because I'm an Infinity user, and then I'll realize, oh wait, well, you don't have advanced quiz. That doesn't do that.
Yeah, and I've been trying to find a solution to have people pay with Stripe off the website, because when you do a PayPal payment, it actually takes you off the website over to PayPal to finish your payment. And so I've been looking for something with Stripe that does a similar thing. I don't know if that's an option with WooCommerce, but with Lifter Stripe, the payment's actually processed on your, like, it looks like it's all on your site because they never leave, even though that field is sent to Stripe. But I've been trying to figure out how I can I want it to send them over to Stripe to complete the payment, and I can't figure that out. That would be cool feature. And that's because of PCI compliance stuff, where, like, if someone can enter the card on your website, on your checkout page, you just have to fill out like a higher level of PCI compliance. Because if someone were to install malware on your website, they can read what people are typing in that little box. Even though your website doesn't store any credit card information, they're still reading what's being typed in the field. And so I want to have people off the website on stripe.com so that I don't have to assume that higher level of form to fill out. But it looks like I might just have to fill out a different form for my PCI compliance. But that's a big thing for all course creators to take a look at, is just Google PCI compliance and what is required for that, because that's becoming a bigger deal end of March this year.
Or we can all just go to jail.
Oh yeah, you don't go to jail. It's like, it's not actually a law. It's like a regulation or something. So like what they would do is just make it so your business can't accept payments on the internet, which is like problematic because like that's what we're here to do. But there's no like, it's not a legal violation. I don't think. It's just a a regulatory sort of violation. So Chase, Discover, and all these places are like, no more credit cards.
No more credit cards.
So
I'm looking forward to going back to a barter, a whole barter system, dude. Like, you need a dozen eggs. You're gonna give them a pile of firewood. You need that pile of firewood. You're gonna have to go dig some dirt. You got to dig that dirt. You need a shovel. How are you gonna get a shovel?
That would be interesting. That'd make it complicated for Lifter payment gateways, is like the bartering gateway, where like you list out the products that you're looking for, and then people can mail them to you in exchange for enrollment in a course. That's, I guess, the manual payment gateway can do that in Lifter. If I left my Feature Friday demo site. LIfterLMS does have a couple of gateway options that most people don't really dive a lot into. If I share my screen here, boom. Under checkout, LIfterLMS has 4 paid payment gateway options. Authorize.net, which I don't think a lot of people use that one, but some organizations do, who I don't know why Authorize.net is used, but there's some, it's a credit card processor, but there's some kind of backend that they have that Stripe doesn't, that
It's old school.
It's old school. It's really old school. And then PayPal and Stripe are the most popular ones for people to use, and then WooCommerce if they're really trying to go to the next level. But there's this manual gateway too that I think is a bit underrated, and that's a part of the free core LIfterLMS plugin. This does not allow for automatic enrollments into the course. It simply creates a pending order in Lifter, and you as an admin have to mark that as completed. And usually people will do pay manually via a check or a money order or something like that. And then they'll have payment instructions. And so people can sort of asynchronously pay for a course. And a lot of people in the digital age want just enter your credit card, automatically get enrolled immediately. And so Stripe or PayPal are usually going to be the way to go. We have our keys, and the API credentials are hidden. And then the webhook status allows us to do those recurring payments if you're doing a recurring membership payment option. But there are a lot of pricing setups you can create in LIfterLMS as long as you have your digital assets for continuing education, for whatever online course you're trying to create or online membership. Lifter has a lot of infrastructure to support those different models. A lot of add-ons and a lot of fancy stuff to make that all happen. Jumping back over to YouTube. Has there been anything in the last week? This looks exactly like what I need. Too bad I keep getting accused of being a robot when I try to do the demo or click the contact link. Wow, this person seems like they're getting blocked by Cloudflare or something like that. I don't know why that'd be going on.
I had a weird one just last week where someone got the demo and then shared the demo credentials with someone in another country. And then when they tried to use the demo with those shared credentials, was getting like this is a blocked web spam, web whatever. And I was like word fence thing. And I was like, I can't fix your word fence settings. I don't know. Here's an idea. Spend a second $1. Spend a second $1 and see if the other person can access their I wasn't sure what the answer would be.
Yeah, WordFence is becoming one of those more popular things, like what I was talking about, PCI compliance, that requires more security standards for your website. So having website admins have two-factor authentication turned on will be a requirement for that if you can access the WP admin area, and WordFence has that as a feature. So that's a really, I think that one's going to become even more popular with these increased security standards that more businesses are going to have to follow. That one's going to grow a lot. Thank you very much. I'll use your application. It looks like you might have responded here about H5P in the shortcode blog.
Oh, yeah. H5P.
H5P is a really, really cool one. It would be nice to see a deeper integration with H5P, because that is just a really powerful set of tools. Like H5P returns, I'm pretty sure it returns a completion status as far as like what that little inside of the little HTML thing. And Lifter is not looking for a completion status, just basically like says, here's the content, watch it, don't watch it, do it, don't do it. But it probably wouldn't be that hard to try to see, like, with the H5P, does it return a positive completion status, and then allow the mark complete button to be hit once that positive completion status is returned. And that way it's like forcing people to do the H5P content in order to be able to complete their lesson. That would be cool.
Oh my goodness. Well, my friend, I think we're closing out here on an hour.
Yeah, we are.
We are dangerously close to those minutes. We'll end this on a happy note, and that is we'll be here next week. That's a happy note. The other happy note is LIfterLMS is available at help@lifterlms.com if you have any questions. We have the $1 demo. I'll throw the banner back up for how to try it for $1. We also have the free core plugin if you want to add LIfterLMS to your WordPress website for free. God, you listen to folks like Jonathan at WP Tonic talk about all we give you for free, and it's kind of shocking and alarming, right? Because you can really do a lot of cool things. Like corporations use the free plugin a lot because they're not actively marketing or sharing the content. They're kind of forcing people to take their training. And when you look at it from that use case, the free core plugin is more than you need to do that. Other than that, well, what's the best way for people to reach you?
If you Google Magic Will Middleton or WPCourseGuide.com is usually where I'm making content.
Perfect. And you can find me at LIfterLMS.com. I'm one of the guys that answers a lot of the pre-sales questions that comes through. We also will be here next week, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Kurt Von Onen at LinkedIn. I'm the only Kurt Von Onen there. So if you find me, you can connect with me there and ask me questions as you see fit. Will, I'll see you in an hour.
See you in an hour.
All right, brother. Have an awesome day.
You too.
Oh, hold on. I got to do the thing. The would you woo?
The outro.
Where is it? Here it is.